Hi everyone. I am so sorry that tonight it didn't record. I don't know what happened. I think because I got a phone call in the middle of it, it cut it off and I didn't realize it. So I am so sorry. But I am re-washed my face and I got it prepared for you. So I'm going to do this again. Excuse me. So that way you guys can see the full tutorial. And again, I'm so sorry. But all right, so as I was saying, I always begin with the eyes. So I am going to redo, and I'm using the eyebrow spoolie, and I'm just brushing them up. And then you brush them up and then out. Okay. And we have a eyebrow defining pencil, which is really great, but it's to help define and to fill in areas where you are missing a little hair or not as much. I'm not using that tonight. Tonight I am using the volume, here it is, the Volume Firm. Oh my gosh. See, this is what happens when I'm redoing the video for what, the third time? Volumizing brow tints. So not only does this give you a little bit of color, but it also helps keep the hairs in place, which is really nice. So I just take it and I do like this so we can get the excess color off, and you just want to do a little light feathery strokes, especially right here on the inner part, and then it can be a little darker on the angle and then down. But you want to match your natural color. If you're like me and your eyebrows are very blonde, mine, you can't even see mine if I don't do it, then you may have to go like a shade darker. So then I just take my eyebrow brush and I run through it before it dries. And that's just to help get the excess off. There we go. Very easy. All right, so now we're going to do the eyes, start the eyeshadow makeup. So I always use an eye primer first. And I just use my fingers for this. It just makes it so much easier. So I just put it on my finger, tap, 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 and then rub it in all over the lid up to the brow. And this just helps keep your makeup in place, especially from sweating and humidity. But also it just helps keep your eyeshadow from creasing and last longer. It helps the pigmentation to be a little bit more concentrated. So I love that. All right, so we're doing the pumpkin spice latte eyes. So let me get my brush here. All right, so I'm using the all over shadow brush. And here is all of our eyeshadows. And I'm going to start with Biscotti right here. And so when you're doing your eyes, always do your base first and start with a color that is pretty close to your skin tone. And that just helps it to make it nice all even. Now, if you're like me and you have hooded eyes, and the hooded eyes means you have a lot of this excess, and see how it kind of comes down. You don't get to see the whole lid. That's another reason why you want to use a base color that matches your skin tone, because if you put a really bright, like whitish color, you know, up near your brow here, like a lot of magazines and everything will tell you to do. The problem with that, with hooded eyes, is that it accentuates. So the first thing people are going to see is this. And that's the very thing that we're trying to hide. So we can make our lids look bigger. Because you don't want this to be so prominent and then this to be hidden. You want it so this is a little hidden and then this is more prominent. So that's for it. Now, if you've got really great big eyes and you don't have hooded eyes, great. You go for it, boo. You just do you. All right, so we have our base on, okay? And I always keep, I take a paper towel and I just, you know, cut it in half, tear it in half, whatever. And I take my brushes in between colors and I just kind of go like that, just to kind of get the excess off. It just helps to keep them cleaner. All right, so the next color we're going to do is we're going to do our mid-tone, and I'm going to use Shiny Penny, that color right there. And so that's more like our pumpkin color. All right, so I just get some on the brush, and I just use my hand, tap, tap, tap to get the excess off. And I'm going to go right here, right above from the crease, right above. Now, again, with hooded eyes, I can't go into the crease because, as you see, when my eyes are open, if I go into just the crease, it's going to disappear once my eyes are open fully. So I actually go just a little bit above the crease right here to put that on. Now, wherever you put your brush first is where most of the eyeshadow is going to deposit. Now don't worry about the way it looks right now because we're going to blend all that out. And then if you want color or more color, you just want to tap, 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 just like this. And that helps to deposit more color. So it really just depends on what you're wanting to do. I'm going to get some color in there. Get some real pumpkin eyes here. I just love fall. I don't know about you guys. I look forward to the sweaters and the cozy nights. And all right, so again, we're not going to worry about, we're going to go back in and blend, so don't get too upset. All right, so I'm just going to take it, get some color off. All right, now I'm going to use my angled brush. See that? See how it's tapered? And I'm going to use this color right here, which is Burnished Bronze. And this is going to be our accent color. Tap, tap, tap. So I'm going to the outer corner of the eye in the crease, but I'm only going about a quarter way. Okay? See that? Then it's almost like a C. See that? All right. And then I'm just going to blend it out, blend it all in. I'm putting a little bit more on than what I normally do, but because I just want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, and again, we're not going to worry about it right now because we're going to blend it out. All right, let's do the other side. In the corner of the crease. And then if you need to hold your eye up, that's okay. Now here I go a little bit higher because this eye, this is what I call my droopy eye. So as you can see, this eye droops a little bit more than this one. And that's okay because when my eyes are fairly open, they'll look the same. Okay. Now I'm going to take my blending brush and we're going to blend it out because I don't want these harsh lines. I want it to all like blend in together, and so you don't see these harsh lines. So I'm just taking it and we're just going to blend, 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 blend. All right, see that? Blend, 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 blend. All right, there you go. All right, next we're going to, let's see, let me find my brush here. Where are you, brush? Oh, so I'm taking the eyebrow brush again, but I'm flipping it on the other side. So this is a smaller tapered brush. It's a little stiffer. And I'm going to use the espresso color, which is this one right here. All right, sorry, I just knocked my mirror. All right, tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to go into the corner on the bottom, right underneath the lash line. And again, I'm only going about halfway. Okay. Tap, tap, tap. All right. Now, sometimes you can use eyeliner for underneath, you know, if you're doing like a smoky eye, or if you're doing, you know, want a more dramatic look, and you can take eyeliner and you can go all the way in, and that's fine. Eyeliner is a little bit more dramatic or harsher than, you know, using eyeshadow. But for this look, I'm not wanting to do that because I just want a more softer, matter look. All right, and so then I'm taking the smudger brush and I'm just going to go over and I'm just going to extend the eyeshadow over. So see, it's just a little bit, can you just tell? So it doesn't have any eyeshadow on the brush. I'm just taking what was already there and kind of blending it out. It just makes it look a little softer, a little bit more finished. So basically I'm creating a drop shadow. All right, so we're almost done with our eyes. All right, so you can also use the eyeshadow right as your eyeliner above here. I'm actually going to use our brand new waterproof brown eyeliner. And if you guys didn't know, this eyeliner, look, it's a sharpener. And you don't have to worry about it drying out because see, it doesn't come anywhere near the pencil. So it's all good. But, you know, and I'll be honest, I did not care for Mary Kay's eyeliners before. I really didn't. But these are the bomb. They stay in place. They glide on smooth. It's like satin. I'm really loving them. So I hope you guys like them just as much as I do. But it's a really good pencil. All right, so we want to go into the inner corner all the way to the outer side. Sorry, my nose is running. All right. Just nice feathery strokes. All right, so there we have one eye done. Okay. And you want to make sure that you're going all the way into the inner corner edge. Otherwise, it's going to look like that your eyelashes just stopped. When you're doing makeup, it's all about creating accents and highlighting the areas that you want to be seen. It's really an art. So have fun with it. All right, so now we've done both. Okay, so now it's time to do our mascara. All right, so I'm using Lash Love mascara. This mascara is, oh my gosh, I love it. It volumizes, it makes them, so it makes them look fuller. It lengthens the eyelashes. It's just really nice. And it doesn't clump, which I love. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to get real close in here so you can see. We're going to take it all the way to the bottom and go back and forth motion to the tip. Kind of feather it out here. Get in that inner corner. And then I take it on the other side. Just so I can make sure that I'm coating all the lashes. All right, so one eye is done. I don't usually, especially on an everyday look, put mascara on the bottom lashes. You know, that was back in the 80s when we used to make sure that we had everything really well coated, you know, and really thick. And that's just not the look nowadays. But but if I do put some on the bottom, it's going to be waterproof, because if y'all are anything like me and have allergies or you wear contacts and your eyes water at all, you don't want to end up with raccoon eyes. So I always make sure. And I actually, sometimes I use 2 different mascaras even on top. So back and forth motion. So one of the great things about doing your eye makeup first is that if you do mess up or you get mascara down at the bottom because you accidentally blinked or something, you know, that's quite okay. And it's so easy to rectify that. You just get a Q-tip and some your eye makeup remover and take it off. And then you can also use concealer, especially if you're doing a winged eyeliner. You can take concealer and you can help make your edges and correct some of your wing if you mess up. So that's a really great reason to do your eye makeup first. And plus you don't have to worry about eyeshadow all over the place. And all right, so now we're getting ready to do our face. All right, so I'm going to use, this is foundation primer. It's like painting your walls. You wouldn't paint your walls without primer. And it's the same thing for your face. This helps keep your foundation nice and smooth, helps it keep it from caking, especially if you're wearing it all day long. Just nice and smooth. Really helps against any sweat, oil, I just love it. It feels so good. I love our primer. Okay, so that's done now. So another thing that I do use, it's not Mary Kay, but if you have any blemishes, acne, redness, or even just like really dark circles, and a lot of times dark circles can be genetic, so there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But I actually use a color corrector, and I don't have it with me. But so you see how my nose has been running for weeks now, so it's really raw and red from having to constantly blow my nose. So we're just going to pretend like that I already used it, but it's green. And so you just put a little tiny bit on wherever your blemishes or any redness, and then when you put your foundation on, it goes on nice and smooth, and it takes the redness out, because it's like the color wheel. If you have red and you put a little green on it, then that's going to counteract it and take that redness out. And if with the dark circles you want to use like an orangey yellowish color corrector, and that will help that. Okay, so tonight I'm going to use for foundation, instead of my liquid foundation or my CC cream, which I love, I'm going to actually use our Endless powder, cream to powder foundation. So I am beige 2. This is all of our beige colors. Of course, we have bronze and we have ivory colors. But I use this sometimes, and it's not any particular reason as to why I would use this over a liquid. Sometimes I just want a more powdery finish, and so I'm just haven't used it in a while, so I'd like to use it. But so this is Mary Kay sponge. Normally these are very thick and hard. But so what you want to do is you just keep it under the water and keep squeezing it out, under the water, squeeze it out, under the water, squeeze it out. And then it's really nice and soft and pliable. And so if you use a sponge like this and you don't wet it or get it damp, then what happens is that when you put your foundation on, not only is all your foundation being sucked up in the sponge, but it's going to look like that you're just like almost like doing stencils on when you're painting a wall. You know, it's just going to be caked on and it's not going to blend well. So that's why you want it damp. So this is what this is going to do, this foundation. It goes on damp, but then it dries to a powdery finish. So you can see, and then I'm just going to blend it out. I go through spurts to where I'll use this a lot, and then I may use the my liquid, you know, then I go back to my CC cream. So I just kind of use them all, and but I want a nice matte finish tonight for this look. So I like the nice matte powdery finish. And you want to make sure that when you're doing your foundation, that see how it just seamlessly blends in. You can't even really tell I'm wearing any. And that's what you want for your foundation. Because if it's not doing that, then we need to get you color matched and get you a good foundation color. And I really like this too, because you see it's got the point. So you can really get in the crevices over your nose and around your eyes. Okay. So now our foundation is on. So next I'm going to use, this is setting powder, and I'm using light to medium beige. So it's the same color as my foundation. So it's a perfect match. I'm just getting it on our powder brush, and I'm just taking it around. So this just helps to set it, gets the shine out, helps to just make it look finished. And once you put that setting powder on there, that foundation's not going anywhere. All right. So next I'm using Perfecting Concealer, because I like to brighten my eye area. Just makes it look nice and open and bright. And I just put a little bit. Now, some people will go all out and they'll put a whole bunch on. I don't like to. If you're like really 25 and younger, you can probably get away with doing that. If you're older like me, not so much, because we tend to have some wrinkles, and if you're putting that much makeup on, it tends to start caking up. And so you just want to use it sparingly. And so this is one shade lighter than my foundation color. Now, if you have really dark circles or bags, you probably will want to use the under eye corrector, because that has a yellowy orangish tint to it that will counteract that purple and bluish color. But I'm just trying to actually highlight the area. So I'm just taking my sponge again and just pat, 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 pat. Pat, 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 pat. So see, I'm not using too much, but you see how much brighter the eyes look? All right. And then I'm taking translucent powder, because I need to set that, what I just did, because it's a liquid. And I'm going to take my cream brush right here. It really doesn't matter what brush you use. I just wanted a small brush. And I'm just going in and just that translucent powder and just setting what I just did. Okay, so now that is set, so that's not going anywhere now either. Okay. So next we're going to do cheek color and a little contouring and some highlighting. And so this is our cheek color brush. And we can use this for contouring and highlighting as well as our cheek color. And I want you to see this. You see that divot right there? And then you see how it's tapered up? Well, if we're doing contour, you want to make sure that you're using your index finger and putting on that dent right there, because we're going to use the top edge of this, okay? And I am going to use powder contour and highlighter tonight. I'm using the Honey Glazed and the Latte contour right there. We do have cream highlighters and cream you know, bronzers or contour sticks and stuff, and those are very good. Sometimes I use that, but I'm wanting a more matte appearance, so that's why I'm using powder. But if you are really oily, it's really best to stick to powders, because the cream is just going to mix in with that oil and it's going to be not look so well. It's not going to stay put. So I'm just taking my brush, putting some contour in there, tap, tap, tap. And then what I do is I suck in my cheeks so I can really see my cheekbones define. And I'm going to put that contour just right below, right on the bottom of that cheekbone. So I'm just putting a little bit there, because what we're doing is we're creating a shadow. So that way your cheekbones stand out even more. And you can blend this, blend it up, but do not blend it down. We don't want to pull our face down. We want to pull our face up. All right. And then just take a little bit and do right here, because when you're out in the sun, that's where the sun hits you. So it's going to make you look like you've been out in the sun a little bit. So for this purposes, that's all the contouring I'm doing. We can do another video where we really highly contour and highlight, but this is just an everyday look, and for every day, this is really all I do. All right, so then I'm going back in Same thing, I'm using the edge and I've already wiped it off, and I'm using the highlighter. And I'm going to go right here. So just on top of the cheekbone, right underneath the eye, on the side of the eye. And I'm also going to go down a little bit down the nose, just on the bridge of the nose, right in between the eyebrows, okay? And then just a little bit right there. All right, so people, you've seen a lot of people with the highlights. Please do be careful not to over highlight the end of your nose. You do not want to look like Peter Pan or Rudolph with a big white spot on the nose. So just be conscious of that, okay? All right, so I'm going to use, let's see, what color should we use today? I think we'll use this. Usually in the summer, I'm a little bit more tan, so I'll go with a little bit more pink. But because we're doing the pumpkin spice, I'm just going to go just a touch darker. So I'm going to use Rosy Nude. And so for the cheek color now, you see the divot, I'm actually going to put my thumb there. So that way when I'm using it, the brush is actually going to be like this. So there's going to be more. I'm going to do almost like you're down your cheekbone. See how it's aligned with your cheekbone? And then tap, tap, tap. So I'm starting back and then just blending it forward, but not too much. And you're just putting that in between the highlight and the contour. Okay, and then I smile. And just a little bit on the apples of the cheeks. All right. And that's it for that. Now we're on to lips. We're almost done, guys. See, this is so easy. And if you're not talking while you're doing it, you could do this probably in about 10, 15 minutes. All right. So I've already used satin lips. That's the exfoliant for your lips, and a lip balm. So I've already done that. So make sure if you're wearing lip gloss or lipstick that you want to make sure your lips are well moisturized and don't have any dead skin and whatever. Because your lipstick will look terrible and it'll get stuck in that dry skin. It's just not going to look smooth. So make sure you're doing that. So I'm going to be using for lip liners our new waterproof lip liners. And so with the color that we're using tonight, I've pulled out the auburn color, auburn nude, and then beige nude. I'm going to use beige nude, but if you're someone that maybe you're a little darker complected, or if you just like a darker lip liner, that's okay. The auburn would be good for that. So I'm just going to outline my lips all the way and just using light feathery strokes. All right, so lip liner's on. And this just helps to keep your lipstick from feathering, kind of keeps it more in place. All right, so the lipstick I'm using tonight is Spiced Ginger. And this goes perfectly with this color. So you can take a lip gloss and you can use it over this. And if you want just a more like a pouty lip, you could just put your lip gloss in the center. That's fine. I'm just wanting a more matte appearance, so I'm choosing not to use a lip gloss tonight, but we are done. That is it. And so this is finishing spray. This stuff is wonderful. Put this on and your makeup's not going anywhere. And just spritz, spritz. Let it dry, and it smells good too. But it dries very quickly. All right, that is it. Thank you guys so much. Again, I am so sorry that my technology difficulties and you guys didn't get to watch this the first time. I really hope, I'm sorry I'm not as peppy this go round after the third time. I'm losing my pizzazz, but I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys learned a little bit. And I will be putting each of you into that were watching it earlier, put you into the drawing. So for a new holiday product. So thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Mwah. All right. Bye bye.